Tragedy on the tracks. 3 family members killed after they were struck by an Amtrak train in Bucks County. The deadly crash left hundreds of passengers stranded and many questions unanswered as to why the victims were on the tracks in the first place earlier this evening. It is Thursday night, and the big story on Action News is the investigation into a terrible scene in Bristol, Bucks County. 3 members of a family hit and killed by a train. The Amtrak train was coming from New York City when the collision occurred near the Bristol train station just after 6 p.m. Some 240 passengers were on board, none of them injured. Within the past 15 minutes, the train was finally moving again. Nearly 5 hours later, Action News reporter Brianna Smith is live at the scene now with more. Brianna.
Rick, the crash happened behind me, but police cleared the scene about a half hour ago after investigating the site since 6 p.m. Now, the Bristol Borough Police Chief did not release the names of those family members who were killed, but he did say this is a horrific tragedy in this tight-knit community. Bristol Borough and Amtrak police are investigating after a train struck and killed 3 members of a family on the tracks Thursday evening.
This is absolutely a tragedy.
Chief Joe Moore says officers responded to the 800 block of Prospect Street around 6 p.m. for calls of people on the tracks.
When our officers arrived, the sergeant was starting to head up to the subjects up on the railroad tracks when an Acela high-speed train traveling southbound towards Philadelphia struck all 3 subjects that were up on the track.
Amtrak says 236 passengers and workers were heading to 30th Street Station from New York's Penn Station. Shauna Haley was one of them, heading home to Center City.
Regular speed, and all of a sudden, the train came to like a staggering stop. And you knew something was wrong.
Investigation, and then will be reviewed.
Haley praises the train crew's response and watched as detectives investigated the scene as shown from Chopper 6.
I think everybody on the train is just in shock as to that this actually happened. You hear about these things happening, but you don't really expect to be on the train when it happens.
As Haley waits, she says her biggest concern are the loved ones whose lives will be changed forever.
This is not an easy thing. I feel horrible for the families involved, for the Amtrak employees. They were doing a wonderful job. I do hope that the engineer who's in charge of the train gets all the help that they may need.
Yeah, we're thinking about all those involved and impacted by this incident, and we expect to learn more tomorrow. As for the trains, the northbound lane has reopened, and as we mentioned earlier, that Amtrak train is back in service, bringing hundreds of passengers home. Live in Bristol Borough, Brianna Smith, Channel 6 Action News. Rick?
All right. Thank you for that update, Brianna.